Hey guys, many of us used to browse the internet. Yeah, we used to come to facebook.com, we used to type www.facebook.com, www.twitter.com, and all that. And have you ever wondered how these websites were created? Sometimes we used to hear the terms like front end, back end, database, and all that. And I begin to wonder if these are the things that make up the website. So, but today we are only focusing on the two major components that made the creation of websites very smooth and up and running. So these are the front end and the back end. So let's go to the system. So I'll show you guys how this thing works. Let's go.
The front end and the back end are the two components of every website. The visual elements of a web page, such as text, graphics, and buttons, are called the front end. Your data is saved and managed by the back end. For instance, Facebook.com stores your posts, chats, and other data front end. Is crafted by three main tools: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. First up is HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. As the bones holding everything together, it's like the blueprint that structures everything you see on the page. HTML defines the layout of your content, such as headlines, paragraph images, links, and buttons. Without HTML, there will be no way to organize content on the web. It will just be a jumbled mess of text and images. HTML is what gives everything its place. Next, we have CSS, or cascading style sheets. If HTML is the bone, CSS is the muscle. It's responsible for making your website look attractive and engaging. CSS controls the design aspects like colors, font spacing, and even the layout of elements on different screen sizes. You wanna center your text SSS, or wanna give your button a cool hover effect. SSS again, it is what turns a plain text only web page into something visually appealing. Finally, there is JavaScript, and it's a programming language that adds interactivity to your website. It is what makes things dynamic and responsive. With JavaScript, you can create things like image sliders, interactive forms, and real-time updates without needing to reload the page. It's also used for more advanced features like animations, pops up, and even games. Without JavaScript, your website will be static, meaning everything will just sit there without reacting to user interaction. So the back end consists of main three things: the server, the application logic, and the database. First, we have the server. Think of the server as a supercomputer that stores, processes, and sends data to the front end. When you visit a website, your browser sends a request to the server. The server then processes that request, retrieves the necessary information, and sends it back to your browser to display. This all happens in a matter of milliseconds. Without a server, there will be no way to access or deliver the content you see on a website. Next is the application logic, which is like the brain of the backend. This is where all the decision making happens. It's built using the programming languages like Python, Java, Ruby, or .js. The application logic determines how data is processed and how the server responds to various requests. For example, if you log into a website, the application logic checks if your credentials are correct, processes your request, and then either grants or deny access. Finally, we have the database. The database is where all the data is stored, everything from user profiles and password to product information and transaction histories. Think of it as a giant organized library of information. When the server needs to retrieve, update, or delete data, it communicates with the database. Database can be managed using systems like MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, or others, depending on the needs of the application. The database ensures that all the data is stored securely and can be accessed quickly when needed. Follow CyberSec for more tech updates every day.